is up, you guys? It is Tarika, aka Isolated Beauty, and I'm coming at you guys with a new video. This is going to be episode 4 of my college series, I0B2VSU. If you have not checked out that series already, please check out the last 3 videos on my channel. So I know that it's been damn near a month since I've uploaded a video, but hopefully this video will give you some updates as well as just tell you what I've been doing, and that's been my first college dance show. We just finished literally a week ago. It was just such a great experience. I just can't wait to talk to you guys about it, and I hope that you guys find some type of value in this video. So if you are feeling this video already, please give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to click that subscribe button if you have not already as well. I have notes on my iPad because I can't seem to talk like a normal human being. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is just simply giving an introduction and letting you guys know some updates and announcements that I've had. If you cannot tell, I've cut the hell out of my hair. It's very impulsive. Like, I've been thinking about it and I just kind of did it at a very weird time. I was on my period, so like my judgment wasn't right. You know, I do like it. I am adjusting to it. I do miss my hair sometimes, especially as of lately. Like, I'm just like, damn, my hair. That's just like something like small and insignificant or whatever, but you know, just thought I'd let you guys know. I have also been, you know, making moves or whatever. College hasn't stopped the moves. So the first announcement that I have is that I was interviewed by Voyage Atlanta for their blog, and I shared my artistic story, my artistic journey, and just advice to artists, as well as you know, some personal experiences that I've had, things that I've had to overcome. So I'm going to link that link in the bio. I would really recommend that you check it out. I think that I shared some very good, you know, information and advice, and I think it was just such a wonderful opportunity. So thank you, Voyage Atlanta, for that opportunity. I also, one second, so your girl has been featured in her first magazine. This is VPN magazine, created by the Carlton Clay, and I was honored to be selected as the featured poet. That's your girl right there doing a little kick. This is my first magazine. That's kind of a big deal. Like, I don't even have the words right now because like I haven't looked at it in a while. Yeah, that's what I did. This is his parents. Pretty great. That's my name right there. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Now we're gonna get into the actual reflection. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the entire thing, like from the audition to the last show. The audition pretty much happened the second day of school, and the only reason I knew about it is because of orientation. I spoke one-on-one with one of my professors a lot because it was so funny. Literally, I would be the only dance major to show up, so she'd be like stuck with me. Like, it happened like twice. I thought it was like the funniest thing ever, but you know, it was very beneficial because I got to ask my own questions and advice without, like, you know, I guess judgment in a sense. And you know, she just got to know me, I got to know her, so that was very good. So yeah, this audition happened the second day of school, which is just pretty much, that's a little crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure like if you had been there before, like it's no big deal, you know, I know what to expect. But for me, I kind of freaked out a little bit because I've never been a very strong auditioner until now, to be honest. I always like to just kind of know, I don't like to be caught off guard necessarily, especially with things like that, because I know I'm not as confident as I should be. I am better now. Like, I can, you know, as far as the audition itself, it went very well. Overall, it was a lot more chill and casual compared to like what I'm used to, but you know, I am very good at still maintaining my level of professionalism and focus, and that's what I did. I didn't really know anybody, so I couldn't talk to anybody. Like, I just knew like I'm in audition, I'm in go mode, like nothing else around me mattered. So first we auditioned for ballet, and ballet felt pretty good. I know I'm not the strongest ballet dancer, but I also know that I'm not like weak at it either. We had the option of dancing in our point shoes, and I chose to do that just to show like, hey, I'm willing to do this. Not necessarily, oh, I have like the top-notch point skills. Like, nah, I'm willing to do this, you know what I mean? I feel like on my end that wasn't the very best decision because the point shoes that I have now aren't really good for my feet like at all. So, you know, had a few little slip-ups and whatnot. Then we did jazz. I'm not like a formal jazz dancer, believe it or not. Like, I did tap jazz my last year of high school, my senior year, and I was also a TA, so I was in beginner jazz, and I know jazz through simply knowing movement and through being in like different shows that required jazz. You know, jazz, I felt like it wasn't my strongest dancing, but you know, I also, you know, didn't show that necessarily. And then we got to my beloved modern, and you know, I tell anyone that's the dance genre that I'm strongest at, and you know, it was a breeze because we did the same choreography that we did to audition for the school. So I think that was a very, I don't know, to me that was a very significant moment because I thought back to that audition and just how hungry I was, and I think that's what snapped me back in and like, okay, like you can do this, you know what I mean? And I remember like literally after I finished the choreography, I had the biggest smile on my face because I felt so confident and just so good about what I did. But you know, after the audition, I felt good. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. Like I was just like, whatever. Like far as casting, like I knew I did well in the audition, but I didn't expect to do as well as I did, and that leads me to talking about the results. As far as casting, I was casted in 3 whole pieces.
Beat not 1, not 2, but beat
3 whole pieces. I literally looked at the cast list. I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me again. Oh shit, that's me again. Like I was just like, yo, what? So I called my mom, like damn near crying because this is a big deal, especially, you know, as a freshman. Like I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, and of course I'm very grateful for it, but I was just like, 3? What? Like me? I was just ready to like work. To me this was a big deal because each of the 3 pieces was by each of my 3 professors, so that means that each one of them saw something in me and they saw how I could benefit one of their pieces, and I got to work with each of them, like see their creative process, see how they thought, see how they choreographed and all of that. I think that's why it was a big deal to me, because each of them saw something in me and I had the privilege of learning from each of them. The rehearsal process, I realized I was the only freshman in 2 of the 3 pieces that I was in, and so I freak out again because I'm just like, okay, you know, I knew I did well, okay, 3 pieces, then I'm the only freshman in 2 of these pieces. I'm just like, wow, you know what I mean? It's a big deal. So I was intimidated, to be honest, because I'm just like, why the hell is my young ass self amongst these older kids? You know, they've been here before, you know, like that's that doubt creeping in. Like everything was just trying to convince me that I wasn't supposed to be here, until I realized if I wasn't a strong enough dancer, if I wasn't a mature enough dancer, if I wasn't a good enough dancer, I simply would not have been casted in those pieces. And of course, you know, I seized all that negative ass thinking because like this is where I was meant to be. I was meant to be amongst these people and these dancers with this professor, learning this choreography, telling this story. I also didn't feel out of place, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I felt, you know, intimidated to a sense. I felt doubtful, but there were moments where I was like, yeah, I worked for this, I deserve this, and that felt good. We were also all a part of the creative process. We were able to create our own phrases, movement that was true to us, so we're not just dancing what we're told to dance. We're dancing something that came from a place within ourselves, and I think that's what made a lot of the performance strong, because like, you know, sometimes you're given movement, you can't necessarily relate to it, or you don't know the meaning behind it, and that's kind of hard, and I've had to deal with that a lot. But to be a part of the creative process and to create phrases and stuff that, you know, was worked into the dance, which I'm going to get more into that later, it was a big deal to me. You guys value our input as well, and I think I appreciate that a whole lot. So as we got through the rehearsal process, some other great shit happened, and I'm just like, what the hell is happening? So as the dances are being created, I am put as soloist by myself, individual. I'm put as soloist somewhere in each of the 3 pieces. This, I was like, yo, what? Like, it was insane to me. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this at all. It was crazy. It was crazy to me. Like, I still can't even believe I'm saying it out loud, because, like, you know, I've always had that issue of being too humble and being afraid of how I sound, but this was my reality, and I was very grateful for that nonetheless. If anything, it was humbling, because, like, I know my struggles more than anybody. I know times where I would come crying home in the bathroom because someone told me I couldn't dance, or, you know, I remember the times, especially in my later years of high school, where I'm just like, my teacher does not see me, or she's not listening, or she's not paying me any attention. And to be here and be seen enough to be soloist, and they see that I can stand alone and I'm just that strong of a dancer, it was very humbling. Like, I really hope I don't get emotional, because I don't feel like doing that today. I knew my previous struggles, but I also could believe that this is my time. I've worked my ass off to get to this point. I deserve this, and I shouldn't convince myself that I don't deserve this. It made me emotional, of course. Like, I'm always going to be emotional about what I care about and what I'm passionate about, and that's my art. I felt calm because, like, I knew, like, this was simply my time and this was what I deserved. But also, I felt hella pressure. Soloists are 3 pieces, like 3 very different contrasting pieces, and telling 3 different stories. It was just like, you know, damn, like, how the hell am I going to do this? I've never necessarily done this before. And the fact that my professors put that much trust in me, you know, it's kind of like, I can't let them down. I can't let this audience down. I can't let anybody else down, especially, you know, everybody that's involved, my peers, choreographers, all this other stuff. I just didn't want to let anybody down, like, to be honest. I knew I had a lot to offer, but it was always that question of, will this be enough? Is this enough to, like, draw in the audience, and this is enough to, like, keep the audience engaged? Like, am I enough? Will this be enough? Am I doing enough? Like, there's always that question ringing in my head. A very different perspective, and I think that this is very important to say, is that I had a better understanding for the dancers I saw in this position all the time in high school. If you've kept up with my journey, you know I didn't have these opportunities in high school. Like, I'm very blessed to have a few, but, like, it wasn't like this, I suppose. And even so, it's still not the same as high school. I would see the soloists and, like, the stars and stuff like that, and it's just like, you know, damn, I wish I could do that. I wish I was good enough for that. And even a sense of envy, because it's just like, you know I'm working just as hard as you are. Why aren't I getting it? And, you know, I think I'm still healing from that, and simply telling myself that it wasn't my time. There's no need to hold resentment. There's no need to be bitter about it. It simply wasn't my time, and I need to commend myself for still working and still maintaining my passion despite not necessarily getting what I thought I wanted or what I thought I deserved. I had a better understanding for them. I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all to y'all damn face that being soloist of 3 pieces was easy. It was not easy at all. I was very physically tired a lot. I doubted myself a hell a lot, but, you know, I knew that I had worked for this, and I was not gonna take it for granted. There was a little period of time where, like, I had a very difficult time because I was just very stuck in my past. Like, those voices telling me that I couldn't, and the voices telling me that I wasn't good enough, like, they just rung in my head. Especially, this was the time to attack me, because I was in a position that, you know, they didn't want me to be in. So of course these voices and these demons were gonna come and attack me at this time. This was the time to break me, because I was doing something that the devil, or that the universe the darker side of the universe, I suppose, didn't want me to be doing. And, you know, I knew what it was, and I recognized that, and I really had to push myself and tell myself that I do deserve this. I am worthy of this. I am good enough for this, and I can do it. I had a very bad day in ballet. It was after fall break. For fall break, I went home. I just spent time with my family. It was a very personal break. I didn't make it known, but hey y'all, I'm home. Like, I was like, no, I just want to chill, spend time with my family. I don't know why I thought I was gonna walk into ballet like I had my shit together. I'm like, yo, you just got back from a break, you're very physically tired. I was just so hard on myself, beating myself up. Why aren't I perfect? Blah 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 blah. And, you know, I cried because I'm just like, what, you know, like, I guess the pressure was getting to me. I knew what it was. You know, I didn't want to call my mom. I still don't really have a lot of friends. You know, it was me in that moment, and I had to realize that this is my dream, this is what I'm chasing, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, this is my responsibility to get me through this moment. And that is what I did, and I'm very, proud of myself for that, as insignificant as it sounds. But yeah, a lot of that, it was hard, and I sympathize with the dancers that I saw in this position a lot in high school. I have a very better understanding that it just wasn't just being seen a lot and being on stage and being a star. There's a lot more to it. Not saying I don't know how they worked. Of course they had to have worked, because they wouldn't have been there. Maybe I didn't see it or not, but I get it now, and I think that's a very mature thing to me. Just overall, I was just blessed to be in that position, because it was something I never thought I could do. It was great, it was great, but it also came with its difficulties. This leads me to talking about the actual show. So the 3 dances that I was in, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about each one. The first one that I was in, I'm going to go in order that I performed in, was about multiple sclerosis. So my modern professor made use of projections and chairs and all this to tell us what goes on in the brain with someone with MS and how it affects the body. We also have a professor that works here at VSU that has MS, and we were able to interview him and observe him and hear from him personally. So that was a very great experience. I saw him after one of the shows. It was a show where my family came, and he just told me I did a good job, and it was just such an honor to tell his story, because that piece was challenging, removing myself from that, because this wasn't about me. This was about him and this disease, and telling, showing how this affects the body with this movement. So it was a very selfless piece, and I opened up that piece with the phrase I created. So that was a big deal, and just knowing that he was satisfied with it, he felt emotional about it, made me very happy. The second dance that I was in was pretty much about anxiety and depression, and how stress affects the body, and how we all have our personal issues going on, but with each other we can help each other get through it. And we created our own phrases for that. I opened up the dance with my phrase again, so that was very great. I think this was a hard piece to perform, because you had to be both technical and emotional, and it was a point of finding balance with not making it too chaotic, but also conveying the emotion and conveying the real feeling. And I think this was also my favorite piece to perform, because I was just so connected with my peers, and we just always had a good time in rehearsal. It was a small cast. At the third piece that I was in, this was pretty much about like the different sides of you, like who you show the world, what are your aspirations, what are your goals. It also included speaking, so the spoken word artist in me was just like quaking or whatnot. Of course, everything was a lot more laid back and casual, but I still remained as professional as I could. All of the hard work that we put into these pieces was so worth it. It was just so magical seeing the piece like be rearranged and cleaned and changed from what it was in the very beginning to what it was now on stage. It was just such a rewarding process, especially me and my peers. Dancing with them on stage was just so amazing, especially when I could feel their passion as well as mine on stage, and we connected on stage. It was beautiful, man. It was so beautiful. The feedback was amazing. I was seen a lot in this dance, so I got a lot of feedback. It's very overwhelming, but it was all very good, especially from the adjudicator. I think she came on Saturday night. Yes, Saturday night. I cried so much because she'd point me out. She'd tell me what I did well. You know what I mean? Of course, there were, critiques and all of that, but overall, just, knowing that I did my job just that well, that I was seen and I locked in my audience, especially coming from, essentially a complete stranger, it made me very emotional. And, I think that was the day I was reminded, you can do this. All of all of those voices that told you that you can't, you don't have to listen anymore, because you are somewhere where you belong, and you are somewhere where they see your gifts and they want to bring it out of you even more. And they aren't necessarily intimidated by it. They aren't gonna make you run from it. They aren't gonna make you suppress it. They're gonna I'm just in good hands here, you know what I mean? And so I was crying so much. I'm still getting choked up. I really hope I don't do this today, but you know, I was just like hugging my professor. They probably thought I was drunk or some shit, because like I'm a hugger. I love hugs. I'm a very affectionate person. I know you can't believe I'm a Aquarius, but I am. Just about what I'm passionate about. I'm a very loving person. I was just hugging everybody. I'm just like, oh my god. My peers are supportive. You know, they noticed that I was the freshman girl. You know, I came in, you know, essentially kicking ass, and they, you know, they uplifted me. Even, especially, they may not realize it, you know, the times where I'm just like, I can't do this, you know, they'd be like, oh, you got it, blah blah blah. Everyone's just so supportive. Of course, you have some people, you know, but that's life. You have to have the courage of being, you know, this light, or, you know, they're not necessarily agreeing with everyone's decisions and all that. And, you know, I just really had to block that out sometimes. And I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't a thing, because it was. And it was just amazing. It was just amazing having that support and having that love, because I feel like that really pushed me through. Everything that was wrong with me is now what's so special about me on stage. Every piece of feedback that I've gotten has been about like my ability to capture the audience and my facial expressions, just how much I'm into it, and how my stage presence is very strong. And that's something that I struggled with a lot, because, you know, I got picked at a lot. And, you know, my weird movements, I was able to be show off parts of myself that was just like so wrong. And, you know, that felt amazing, just being here learning from my professors, and it's just been amazing. Post show, so your girl has been tired. You know, it's been a week, but this has been the hard. Usually I snap back into like my normal routine very easily, but I guess because, you know, this is college and it's a lot different, I've had a hard time like snapping back into things. You know, like I realized, like, just because you had a show, that don't mean we're gonna take it easy on you. Like, you still got due dates, you still got assignments, and, you know, I've been managing that pretty well. My grades are very good, but I've been very tired. Like, you know, when I perform, I feel like I transfer my energy, and I just give so much of myself that I have to recharge. And, you know, in this case, I gave a lot of myself in these performances, so I have had to recharge. And even still to this day, you know, not every single day, but, you know, every now and then I'm walking on campus, I'm standing my fat ass in line trying to get some food, you know, someone walks up to me and tell me just how good of a job I did, and just hearing how passionate they sound and seeing how passionate they look and just like touched they are by what I did on stage is just like, it's far bigger than myself. And it's just a blessing. Like, as I grow as an artist, I realize that, you know, I'm a vessel, and I was essentially a muse far as the show. And, you know, it's not really about me. It's about touching the audience. It's about connecting with the audience and giving them something. Like, sure, I love dancing and I really love being on stage, but ultimately that's not what it's about to me, especially as I grow as an artist. And I realize just how much God works through me, and how, you know, essentially we are a team. Like, there's no me without him. And especially with this show and just this part of my journey in general, like, I realized that's what has essentially made me stronger. And you know, it's crazy because, like, you know, I'd be tired as hell, and, you know, someone just walks up to me, they don't realize just how much that means to me. Like, compliments, I don't take them lightly. When someone sees something in me, I don't take it lightly at all. So that's been very magical. And I guess I've just been doing my best to actually rest without guilt, because, like, I just always feel this pressure of I have to be doing something, which is low-key why I'm filming this video or whatever. But you know, just telling myself that I deserve rest, and telling myself that it's okay to be tired, and, you know, realizing that my job was done, and my job was done very well. That was a very humble ass brag, but you know, I did my thing. I did my thing, and I really have to, you know, I still have to get better at giving myself credit, because, you know, I still have work to do as far as that. You know, there's still work to be done. Like, you know, now I'm back in technique class. You know, I don't have rehearsals after classes anymore. So, you know, I have a lot more time on my hands, but I still have work to do, especially in my technique classes and my regular classes. So that really excites me. What's actually next? I do start Sleeping Beauty rehearsals this Sunday. So tomorrow, today's Saturday when I'm filming this video. I don't know when this will be up, but I auditioned for Sleeping Beauty. That audition in itself is a whole different story. We're not going to talk about it. But your girl was still casted, so... But I got casted as a court woman. I'm just blessed to be casted. You know, this is a new thing. I feel like, you know, just having this role, I can see what things are like. You know, I can learn from everybody else, and hopefully, you know, move up in my roles as I progress and as I choose to do the show or not. So I'm excited for that. I haven't done a full-length classical ballet yet, so I think that's a very new experience. Like, even so, I'm just blessed to be a part of it. Like, big role, small role, who cares? There's still something to be learned and something to be obtained. Hopefully I'll do more YouTube videos as far as the series. I'm still working on my personal creations. Been having some difficulties, but it's okay. I'm not going to say much about what I am dominantly working on right now, but just, you know, stay tuned or whatever. And, you know, I still have my schoolwork as far as my academic classes and my dance classes. There's still work to be done, improving, growth. That's just what I plan to do. Yeah, I just hope to finish the semester strong, you know what I mean? Like, I have been tired, you know, I've missed my family a lot. You know, I can't run home every weekend. I wish I could sometimes, but it's also a good thing because it's aiding at my growth. But I've just been, you know, still working, just taking my time and trying not to be so hard on myself, which is hard. So that was pretty much my performance reflection of my first college dance show. I really hope you guys found some value in this. So please subscribe to my channel if you have not already as well. Please follow me on social media at Isolated Beauty. That is where you can find me if I am away from here. And also check out the other videos in this series, I0B2VSU. I really hope to just grow this series into something that's original and very true to who I am in my journey. And I hope that somebody digs it out there. So yeah, I think that is all that I have to say, and I will see you guys in my next video.